All right, welcome back to Miami, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday. It is 3 p.m. Eastern or thereabouts, and we are back playing Vampire the Requiem, second edition from Onyx Path Publishing. My name is Josh Wallace. I am one half of Angel Citadel, and I'm going to be your GM today um, and every session for this. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to Vice City. It's been a couple weeks, but we're back, and we're gonna have another interesting session with my wonderful cast. I've missed them, and I always do, but they're great. So let's get them introduced real quick, and maybe do a little bit of a recap as to what happened last session, and get started. So, um, Rusty, let's start with you today.
Hi, I'm Rusty Robot. You can find me at as Rusty the Robot underscore between each in the Angel Citadel Discord and Rusty T Robot in the chat. I play Victor Rockwell, an Invictus Gangrel animator who is kind of regretting some choices that he made right now.
But he's getting back into animation, so
He is, but the
Getting into
choice he's
something else,
regretting
too.
is turning his assistant into, to ghoulifying his assistant.
awesome, awesome. Um, Carol, let's do you next.
Hi, I'm Caro. I'm Sinomari in the chat and in the Angel Citadel Discord. I am playing Charlotte Delacour and Invictus DeVay, and you can take her hot to go.
Who is sometimes also a hot mess.
Yes, generally a hot mess.
For those of you that aren't in the Angel Citadel chat and Discord server, why not? There's a link below in the Twitch chat to our link tree that's got a direct link to our Discord invite. Come join us, talk about gaming, meet the cast, meet all of our friends. We've tried to gather some really cool people on that website, and we chat about role playing games and other geeky things. So, yep, it is indeed right there, Rusty. Thank you. Jeff, let's see what you're there.
Oh, hi. I am playing Sage Thorn, who is a mechat, really a mechat nothing. They have associated with their, I can't even remember who they are. Clearly, he's not that committed to his order.
He's Parthian by association.
Yeah, Carthian by association is easily
He only
the
goes
best
for
way to
Christmas
describe.
and Easter.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
it. He only
Christmas and
goes for
Easter
Christmas. I love it.
He's conveniently Carthian. Carthian when it's convenient for him.
And that's yeah, and mostly he's just kind of like a troublemaker that says what he thinks regardless of the consequences. And that is getting him into trouble.
It is. Joanne.
I'm the other half of Angel Citadel, the better half.
Darn right you are.
I am playing Kimberly McKnight, a rock star turned vampire who is a deva and is being convinced to join Ordo Dracul.
All right. So who wants to recap last session?
I did it last
come
time.
on.
I recapped last
I did it
time.
last time.
You did it last, Jeff. It's on you.
Oh, Jeff.
Okay, get ready for some chaos, because I don't remember. Did anything meaningful happen last time? I know that Sage was a big hot mess. I remember
Was.
that. I also remember that Victor, as always, was a big hot mess.
I don't think Victor stops being a big hot mess.
He's
I know,
never
and it's
going to stop being a hot mess.
the only reason Sage continues to be Sage. Sage only thrives when they are the not messiest person in a friend group. So,
Yeah, no, that title belongs to Victor currently.
Victor is a Rochette's block.
Sage continues to receive strange, vaguely threatening messages from someone that they have yet to meet. Or have they? And is trying to figure that shit out. I cannot say much further than that because I drank a glass of whiskey on an empty stomach.
Oh no, that was an empty stomach. That's bad. This is gonna be an interesting session. So last session we did a lot of RP. You received an interesting message. Somebody keeps, and this is kind of weird. You know, I mean, we're all freaked out about otherworldly nastiness that skewers vampires and sucks children into cracks in the wall. But Sage has something else to be scared about. Somebody is either reading his mind and picking out a random or not so very specific actually thought about a random card in a garbage tarot deck, then going to the trouble of finding it and duplicating it, or is breaking into his house to look at his tarot deck, find a specific card and duplicate it. And I'm not sure which is scarier.
But
I
yeah,
can tell you which
Sage
one's
feels
more
threatened.
likely, but
Sage is threatened right now. And just trying to figure out how to pay rent in a place of their own.
Amen.
so with that said, we are going to hop into our time machine and we are going to fast forward about 3 weeks. So we're going to rev up the DeLorean to 88 miles an hour and find us some lightning.
Oh, I thought we were gonna diddly doot.
Toodly.
You got your choice of time travel method. You know, you got DeLorean, you got the TARDIS, you got
Wayne's
whatever
World.
the Orson
Wayne's
Welles.
World,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
Diddly doot. Get it.
So yeah, 3 weeks. Actually, no. Let's make it longer than that. We're gonna call it 3 months
Ooh.
because I like that. Your time during that 3 months is spent however you'd like it to be spent. There is no, that you can tell, major upheaval, I guess you could call the word, in vampire society during that time. So let's do this. Since you guys are helping to build this world as we go, Caro, for 3 months after seeing this horrific thing that's got her freaking out, what is Charlotte doing during that downtime? How is she? What does her life look like now that there's more than social media and more than Twilight vampire glitz and all that jazz?
Charlotte has really thrown herself into positioning herself to be an ingenue of the Invictus coven grouping. She's going to as many meetings, kissing as many babies, shaking as many hands as she can. And like basically every night is either with Cressida or with the Primogen or with whomever will have her that is at a higher station than herself.
Okay, fair enough. Victor, what about you?
Honestly, Victor has been kind of throwing himself into his work. Animation takes a while, and he's got to animate an entire fucking music video, and he's been throwing himself deep into that. The occasional breaks between with Piper and whatnot. You're also making sure that she actually goes home every once in a while. But other than that, he's pretty much just been hard at work getting this music video done for Kimberly.
So when you're animating the music video, let me just dive into this just a little bit because I'm interested and it's kind of a cool thing. Are you doing that from stills, or are you doing that as like a recorded video that you're translating semi-motion cap to animation? Or in other words, are you getting the band together and involving them, or are you just working through Kimberly?
Right now, just working through Kimberly. A lot of it right now, it's a mix between partial rotoscoping and hand-drawn frames.
Okay, so vocabulary lesson. I learned a new word today. It's called rotoscoping. Somebody explain to me what rotoscoping is.
Rotoscoping is when you take a video and you animate over the video. Basically, you're tracing over the video for the animation, frame by frame.
Okay.
That's what they used to do in for like the old Disney movies during the like Cinderella or Alice in Wonderland. They actually had live actors, and they would draw the frames over the frames of the video.
Oh wow.
Or in the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit cartoons from the late 70s.
Really?
Yeah, that's how that was.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you didn't know that you were coming to a role-playing game, live playing, going to learn vocabulary, but here we are. I love my cast; they're wonderful. Thank you. I learned something new today. So
I don't know shit about shit.
So you're not doing that though, Rusty. You're just working with Kimberly right now, right?
Yes. Working with her, getting, running storyboards by her and all that.
Okay, fair enough. Kimberly.
Chaos. 3 months outside of showing up and taking stances that Victor needs her to do. She's training, researching, and periodically going to the court and checking things out.
Okay. What is she training on?
Killing people. Specifically killing vampires.
Interesting. Okay. And last but not least, Sage.
Sage is probably assisting Victor for a cut of the pay to do the animation cells, etc. Victor is a reasonably accomplished artist, and Sage is a reasonably accomplished artist who feels like they are demeaning their skill, but does not say so to do
Don't
animation.
forget you got a business card last time as well.
Oh yeah, who is that from?
The sheriff gave you a business card for a Invictus Ventru.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, Sage is probably helping out a little bit, doing some cells and stuff, just to assist Victor. But yeah, I think Sage would probably go to the number or contact the person on the business card to see about getting a job.
So the job is it's not you necessarily doing the art, but it's help selecting modern art to go in a new law office that this particular vampire is setting up.
Okay.
Curator.
Yeah, absolutely. I have taste. It's a merit, in fact. And I'm good at this.
So he contracts with you to pay you $2,000 a month for at least 6 months, for as long as is reasonably necessary. They'll review that contract at 6 months for decoration and not just art, right? But art's a lot of it. Sculpting, sculptures, paint colors, carpet styles, things like that. Stuff that will make the law firm welcoming without screaming, "Hey, come inside! I'd like to suck your blood."
Okay. I think Sage takes the sheriff's words to heart. And I mean, Sage never tones themselves down, but they understand an audience, and they understand the audience that this law firm is shooting for, and so they curate uh, a beautiful collection of options for art, for sculpture, for landscaping, for like modern furniture, for rugs, paint, light fixtures. They essentially create a top tier mood board for uh, dozens of options of looks that the firm might want to consider.
Excellent. And so 3 months goes by as you've worked, as everybody has gone and done their thing. And we will open our scene today with Kimberly. And you are up one evening. You are having your daily your daily goblet of blood vial, or have a sip, maybe a shot of blood, your daily goblet of vial or of blood. And This day, you note something that you haven't seen in months. The prince is irritated. And he keeps looking at the sheriff, who's also there and partaking. And the tension at the table is thick enough that you need a knife to cut it. Finally, the prince slams the goblet down on the table and he looks at the sheriff and says, "Why is the Mirai coming to my domain?" And the sheriff looks at him calmly and says, "I don't know, my prince. I'm not privy to everything that they wish to do. However, I would suggest that you find some way to lose the tension that you've got before they get here. They're not to be messed with." And the prince kind of growls at him. And I know, all right? It's just the last time you and I dealt with them, half my court ended up dead. Twice in one afterlife. It's like they're following me. And it's starting to get on my nerves.
Kimberly isn't going to say a word, but she is going to absorb every bit of information she can listening to him.
That's pretty much the end of the conversation, except towards the very end of your breakfast, the prince has finished drinking, the sheriff's finished drinking, and they're waiting for you. And the prince speaks again. He says, "I suppose I have to have another ball, don't I?"
That's typically a good idea.
Very well. Pick out your things. We'll go over your choices. And Kimberly, make sure you're as polite as possible. And he glances at the sheriff. People are extremely dangerous.
Of course, I will be as polite as you would like me to be.
The following day, the three of you, Sage, Victor, and Charlotte, receive a embossed, gilded invitation to another ball at Elysium. Very similar to the last one that you received. It's actually embossed with real gold foil. And it is for a week in advance. The invitations, sorry, I lost my mind there for a second. The invitations also mention where we will welcome our foreign guest. Rebecca Toulouse.
I'm looking her up on Instagram, just in case.
Okay? You don't find a damn thing.
Impossible.
Like, there's no Facebook, there's no Twitch, there's no Instagram, there is nothing.
Does
on
anything pop up in like a Google search or something?
a Rebecca Toulouse.
A fake name. Everyone has. She must have been on Foursquare or Find My Friends at a certain point. She had a Friendster.
MySpace.
I know it.
Victor is going to be the old man that he is, and he's going to check MySpace.
Her top 5 friends. No, just kidding.
Tell us her top 8, Josh. It's all empty pictures of other vampires.
Yeah, no kidding. Photoshop with the heads missing.
Nice.
No, she does not. She does not have an internet presence at all
Lame.
that you can see. And quite frankly, you are good enough that if there was outside of being inside like a government black server or something like that, if there was something on the internet or even on the dark web about this individual, you would know. Now, the name Toulouse is not an uncommon one. There are even other Rebecca Toulouse. However, they don't seem to be the kind of individual that would rate a vampire party. They all look mortal. So you're ruling them out. And that's what I mean when I say she doesn't have an internet presence, is that after you've ruled out the 10 or 15 people that have that name on the internet, that's not her. You guarantee that's not her. The name Toulouse is French, so you're assuming she's from France, although she may not be coming from France. But that is it.
Charlotte texts the group chat. She is old. She's not even on MySpace. No context as to who she's referring to, but they'll probably get it.
Except for Victor, he just texts back, who?
Kimberly is going to text in the group chat, meet me at her coffee shop. I have information.
Thumbs up.
I go to
Thumbs
coffee
up.
shop.
Yeah, and Victor heads his way there as well.
So you head to the coffee shop. Is anybody actually ordering coffee?
Yeah, I will. Kimberly will.
Sage flushes life and orders a dirty chai.
A filthy chai.
I feel dirty listening you describe that chai.
Spicy too. A spicy, dirty chai.
God, I love my cast.
Charlotte has a thermos that is completely insulated, so you cannot see what's inside of it. And sips on it.
Friday
Juice cleanse.
is inside of it.
No.
You hop over to the coffee shop, and there is there are 2 or 3 people there. One looks like they're kind of writing on a tablet, maybe drawing. You can't quite tell unless you decide to go look. But and then there's a couple that's having a coffee and leaning close and laughing, and you don't know whether they're a couple or just friends, but they're giving off that kind of close, intimate vibe that could apply to either. And then the 4 of you. So I'll leave it to you.
I don't think you're supposed to be in here with a cup from outside, Charlotte.
She nods and goes, "Yeah, probably," and then takes a long sip of it. You're right.
Maybe you should go tip the servers at least.
I'll put $1 on the table. Oh, they're so busy. Look around. I'm really taking up space here.
That's why you should go tip the servers.
I will. I'll put money on the table when we leave.
You need to leave $100.
No.
Yeah, I'm with Sage on this one.
No, Victor's just gonna come back and take it.
No, I'm not. I get paid, I don't need the money.
I'm working for a law firm now. I put $5 on the table. I bought
Charlotte puts
something.
Victor throws down 10. Yeah, Victor throws down 7.
Does anyone know who this lady is? She's not on the internet.
She's Morai.
What's that?
I didn't say the name right.
Yes, it's Morai.
I'm not sure, but the prince is not happy about their arrival. Not even a little bit.
And do we have any idea why she's coming to the ball, or does the prince know?
The prince does not know, and that makes him even more unhappier. But I was instructed to be very, very nice and very, very polite, because evidently the last time she was around the prince, she wiped out half his court.
Okay, so we all need to be nice and polite, and he kind of then gives the stink eye to both Lottie and Sage.
I'm always
I'm polite to people who are powerful.
But we're gonna assume that they're powerful.
Yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Hard.
I mean, name a time I've been rude.
I mean,
that was just rhetorical.
That was rhetorical.
That was rhetorical. I love it.
I'm more concerned with Victor putting his foot in his mouth.
I'll behave. I'll be on my best behavior. Don't worry.
We're all admittedly not the most socially adept creatures.
If anything, the
I'm a
majority of
rock
us are the exact opposite. Almost all of us here are very socially inept.
People love me.
Lottie, you also
Love
don't know how the
me.
real world works, though.
Huh?
Spoiled rich kid growing up, right? That's how you were?
Yeah, it's great.
You don't
It
know
was
how
awesome.
the real world works. Okay, let me ask you this, Lottie. Did you have to actually work for things in your life? Or was it given to
Yes.
you?
I had to have a C- average to keep getting my allowance. Are we gonna do anything about this woman, or did we just meet to have a sleepover?
Mostly just meet to have a sleepover.
Oh, fun.
I mean, I wanted to share the information that I had gained because you guys are the closest thing I have to friends.
That's
Aw,
sad.
was that tenderness? Not
Hush,
I
Charlotte
will
like
deny it.
elbows Victor. Shut up.
I will deny that to my dying day. But yes, y'all are the closest I have to friends.
Yeah, now I'll repeat what I said. That's sad.
Well, when you're the prince's whelp, you don't really make many friends.
Also,
You're all
Victor
certainly
and
some
Charlotte,
friends.
that's really not. I don't think we can be critical right now. I think we should just be friendly. Um, because, I mean, Victor, all of us have a separate group chat talking about how we can fix you to make you less sad. And
Yeah,
Charlotte, you're still mean.
I know.
I like you, but you're mean. You don't really have friends. You have people in your orbit.
Yeah, it's
So,
great. And you're very off-putting. We know everybody has flaws.
people love
Exactly. No,
me.
we all got we all got issues to work through.
What are y'all wearing?
Um,
Clothing.
My new suit.
To the ball?
Yeah.
Cute. Are you bringing Piper?
No.
Oh no.
Oh, why not? She basically lives at Elysium anyway.
No. As soon as I got that letter, I sent her home. I sent her home
She
for
doesn't stay away for very long.
Charlotte,
What?
why are you being provocative when you want us to be nice to you?
Then I just won't speak. Go on. Have your conversation.
Okay,
Hmm.
let's calm down. No need to be petty. No need to be a martyr.
I don't know what I
Do I actually
said.
have to be? Do I actually have to be the fucking adult here?
I think she
Yes.
would enjoy the party, but you
You
do
are
not have
the
to
old
bring
one.
her.
I um I don't I don't agree with Charlotte that you should bring
I
her.
I don't want to bring her. That's the thing.
It
Mainly
just makes
because
me kind of sad.
Bringing her
Who are
would
you
be
bringing,
putting
Charlotte?
bringing
bringing
her
her
would
would
put her in danger. That's the thing.
a lot of
Are you
danger.
bringing anyone that you care about, Charlotte?
I'm not bringing anyone.
And,
Oh,
Victor kind of
weird.
Victor kind of gives her the hmm?
Hmm?
So you're not bringing you wouldn't bring,
Anyone.
you know.
I'm not
Anyone,
bringing I'm not
Victor.
bringing anyone, Victor.
Um, anyway, yeah, we should all plan. Should we coordinate our outfits?
That would
I'm
be cute.
uh I'm gonna break into uh a couple of ateliers tonight and pick out an outfit. What should be
You,
the color?
you know we could just buy our outfits, right?
I am wearing a silver gown with lace on the shoulders.
Oh, silver washes me out. Can we all have like a red accent or something? And then we're
I
not
was
like
just gonna
matching.
say,
I was thinking going black with red trim.
You are more than welcome to do that. I was not technically in charge of picking out my outfit.
But no,
Does he
oh,
dress
if
you?
that's the
Wait,
case, then
pause
that's the case.
everything.
Then
Does he dress you? That's weird.
Not quite dress me, but heavily influences the items I wear.
you shouldn't let a man decide what you wear.
I
Okay,
That's so
mean,
true. Look at Victor.
that sounds great in practice, but
But it's the
Victor,
prince, so you can't
nobody's
really
afraid of
say
you.
no.
it's not
Are you?
just the fact that he's the prince, it's also the fact that he's the one that buys the dresses that go in the closet that I can pick out.
Are you okay with him?
I am looking forward to eagerly moving out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I think that we shouldn't rock the boat right now because, from what I understand, when he came to town, he got rid of everybody who had influence here until he was the only one who remained with significant influence.
And then
So
imported all of the people that he currently has under him.
I'm not intending to say we throw a coup or anything. I'm just checking on Kimmy and making sure she's not harmed.
Kimmy is unharmed. Well, no more harmed than actually being turned into a vampire, but I am unharmed. I keep my mouth shut, I do as I'm told, and everything's copacetic.
that's bad.
I don't
Charlotte's
know.
right, but
I don't know,
also
Kim. It sounds like you're smoking a lot of copium there.
Sounds like you're just kind of a ghoul.
That's what. Yeah, pretty much. That's you basically
guys,
described that.
we need to be nice. We're supposed to be nice right now.
I'm not
Calling anyone a
being mean. I'm
ghoul
We're
worried.
not,
is
we're not being
slander.
mean. We're worried for our friend.
I'm being concerned.
Okay, but it just feels a little rude.
I'm sorry if that was rude. I'm more saying that to ensure your own willpower. Just be aware of the
I mean,
situation you're in. If Chris had told me to
Sage,
do
if
something
you
I
were
didn't do, I
buddy, if you
would've.
were going through the same thing, we'd be worried about you too. You know that, right?
Nobody controls me at all. That's
That's
Oh,
why
good.
I said if you were going through the same thing.
yeah.
If
I might die. I've pissed off people. So
Who
but
have you
that's
pissed off?
okay.
More so than the rest of us?
I don't know who I've pissed off, but somebody keeps leaving me weird messages, so
Do they come in your house? Because I had somebody leave a weird message in my house, but it wasn't pissed off.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut here. I was gonna say something. I will keep my mouth shut.
I just don't know
It's not
who's
keeping
leaving
your
the
mouth shut if you're
messages.
telling us that you're not telling us something.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. Um,
Do you wanna come stay with me for a bit?
oh, I don't think that would help. I think you might end up dying too if they
I
decide that they
mean,
wanna kill
I'm
me.
very strong. I've been taking Pilates.
you
Um,
you could come stay. You could come stay at my place, though, Sage. I got a couch. I
I
don't care.
would not
You know,
sleep on your couch.
I'm
I
not
would
too
sleep
scared
in your
because
bed,
I have a
and,
guest
uh you would sleep on the couch. Yes, that sounds wonderful. It's just that I've got a deposit that I'm about to put down on an apartment of my own, and it's very
Congratulations!
exciting, and, I'm working for attorneys. I'm very high-powered now. Um, I can litigate with the best of them.
look at you,
Okay, well,
all
I can pick out
lawyery
your
and
best
whatnot.
furniture.
Bloody Kim,
Anyway,
look at him, all lawyery and whatnot now.
yeah,
We're
I
all
really just
terribly proud.
I'm just the I'm just the decorator, it's fine. Um, but they're paying me, and it's not full-time or anything, so
Yeah, because the other
I've
part of
been
the
able to
time
help
you're
you.
taking a cut of my pay.
Well, I'm twice as fast as you, and I can replicate your style immaculately, so
That's a fair point, but speed it ain't about speed though. It's about the passion for it. That's how I got to where I was the passion.
So true, bestie.
I'm passionate about things that aren't cartoons.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It ain't everybody's thing.
Although Vampire Hunter D is, like, my favorite, um, old movie, like, a classic movie from, like, back before I was born.
You say
Um,
classic. What do you mean? Like,
Like old, like really old, like from the golden age of cinema or something. Um,
what year is old to you, Sage? And choose your words very carefully.
Probably like 97.
I mean, it's fine that you were born in the 1970s, but uh
You were born in the
I was born in the
1900s?
80s. I was born in the late 80s.
That's the
oh,
1900s.
now he's just trying to like sound cool and hip. 1980s.
That's
Um,
where Breakfast Club was from.
oh, I love that. I love that
Me
movie.
too.
Another great classic from the golden age.
Wait,
Absolutely.
shit, no, I got my birthday wrong. Fuck. No, sorry. 1992. That's when I was born. Got my birthday wrong.
Oh, that's sad. You just
Yeah,
keep
that's
trying to sound
embarrassing.
younger.
I thought
It's
Sage were
okay
being
that
nice
you were
now.
born in 1979. I'm just trying to be honest. Like,
We're nice
if you're born
now.
in 1979, just own it.
I was not born.
You look really appropriate for someone born in 1979.
Was born in 92.
You look
Oh,
great for your
well,
age.
your dress different than that. Um, so anyway, thank you all for meeting me here. Uh, I brought you here to tell you about a mystery. Just kidding. Who is this person? Who are these people that you mentioned that are coming here?
We just go over this that none of us have any idea?
Why why don't you know? This is
We
weird.
ask? I could ask
Could you
Cressida if she
ask?
knows anyone.
Should I ask I could ask my hunter boyfriend.
Wait, so
Oh, have you spoken to him?
are you two a thing now?
Uh, Me and Lance or Vance or Chance. I don't remember his name.
You
It's
sound
fine.
really close.
We're we're getting really close. I've followed him a few times, at a distance.
That's why you keep getting mysterious messages and shit. You're following a hunter around, dumbass.
Yeah,
If a
no,
hunter
it's
was gonna kill me, he would kill me. Hopefully, he'd stake me first. I'm
oh,
sorry, I made
not
you gasp.
don't talk about that stuff in public here, Sage.
Wow, are you
Well,
homophobic?
No,
My
we're
god, can
in
you believe
public.
Victor's a
We
homophobe?
we are in public. Talking about
Two-fourths
sex
of
And
this
lives
party is
ain't something.
quite
Talking
offended.
about sex lives ain't something you do in public.
Why
oh,
not?
that
Does your
sounds
girlfriend
like the
still call
most
you
boomer
master?
perspective I've ever heard. Maybe I
Granted,
was wrong. Maybe
I've
it was
smoked my fair share amount of pipe
1959.
in my life. Don't worry about that. I've smoked my fair share amount of pipe. But still,
We know. We've met your girlfriend. Get it? 'Cause her name's Piper.
that
I still
I
don't
won't
know
tell
how
you that one.
Victor missed the whole comment about Vampire Hunter D is his favorite. I mean, come on.
Walked right
It
into
was a
that one.
double entendre. Um, okay, so I'm gonna go break into somewhere and get. I'm gonna go. I always do black, and I'm gonna
Do a
continue to
white.
do black.
Oh, do a white. You would look so
I mean,
handsome.
Sage, I'm already doing black, so why don't you go for white?
Or like a deep crimson red. That would be very nice. Or a dress. Break some gender norms.
Yeah, no, that works too.
I could see
That's
Victor in a dress.
I'm gonna wear what I find when I break into the fancy place. Um, And then I will show up for the thing. How nice do I have to be? Like, do I have to be like polite like I am with the law firm people?
I
Yeah,
mean,
to be on the safe side, probably more.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'll be a
or maybe
robot.
just don't talk a lot.
I think
Okay.
you should just be you.
Be you, but not as
No,
crap.
no.
But
I
nice.
think Sage should be Sage. And if
Does
they
that
don't
mean
like
that
him, they can suck it.
Does that mean Victor can be Victor?
No, because I don't like Victor. When Victor is being Victor.
I
Fair
like
point.
Victor. He's very
I like you
entertaining.
just
Problem.
fine. I just
I also don't like Victor when Victor's being Victor, so don't worry.
Can I be
okay,
Charlotte? I like
Of
me.
course, you can be Charlotte.
but
But I
nice.
think Sage should be Sage. Just be polite like you are to other people, and it should be fine. They're not going to pay
I'm
any
often
attention
not
to
very
us anyway.
polite. It's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's a good
Nobody's gonna
point.
pay
Nobody
attention to
cares
us.
what we're doing.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're nobodies. Except for
Okay.
the prince is a pain in my posterior, but that's okay. We can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Oh. Well, I mean, are you gonna kill him? You know,
No,
diablerie
A coup.
is bad.
no, I've already got my first target in mind.
Who's that?
She can't
Someone
tell
we know?
us.
Why not? We're her friends.
If she tells us, then if it's treason, we'll all be
Oh
tried
no, it's not
and
treason.
well then that sounds
I
boring.
had to get permission to do so, and I got permission, so and the training to do so. So yeah.
That's cool. You like those little James Bond movies.
Yeah, I've always looked up to that man.
She's now a double fan.
Okay. I'm
Double
gonna
fan
go
Kimberly.
get a nice outfit. A nice look. Outfit is something someone born in 1979 would say. I'm gonna go find a look.
Sage, before you go, genuinely, if you are in trouble, we can do something. We can assist.
Yeah, no, we can help you, man.
Of course we can. Do you want me
That's
to kill
very
somebody
nice
for
of
you?
you. Charlotte, that's maybe the nicest thing you've ever said in front of me.
You should leave.
And I'm gonna go now.
Goodbye.
And Sage departs.
Okay.
You know what, ladies, before I leave, I'm probably gonna go get myself a coffee. I haven't had one in a hot minute.
I remember what happened the
And
last time we did that.
it's not gonna be a lot of in it this time. Trust me, I learned my lesson.
Why do you think I asked if anybody was getting a coffee?
I'm surprised you still have the taste for it.
Yeah, no, I trust me, not as much in the last time as last time. I'm promising you that. Just I'm not even getting any espresso in it this time. And I'm gonna flush life, and you guys see Victor go up to the barista right there, and he just goes, I'll have a mocha caramel latte chino made with skim milk, no whipped cream. Get that in a grande cup, but use the same amount of coffee you put into a tall. Yeah, and yeah,
That way
that's
there's
just
some extra room on top for spilling. Well, not to that's spilling any coffee at all.
yeah. That's exactly what.
She mixes up your drink and rings you up. That'll be $6.
Yep, and here you go. Can you break a 10?
That's what cash registers are for.
What a
And
lovely
takes
tip.
10 and breaks it down, gives you 4 back.
Thank you. He grabs the coffee and starts sipping on it as he's walking back to them. Whew.
Tastes pretty good.
Ah, this is the right stuff. This is the right stuff. No more of that espresso shit for me.
Charlotte continues drinking her vaguely concealed blood in a thermos.
It's tomato soup.
Sure.
I'm
not
feeling
a
a little
juice.
chilled today.
I'm cold.
I mean, Lottie, if you would you be willing to spare some of that, pour a little bit of that into my cup though?
She rolls her eyes and holds the, the cup out to him.
Just and he kind of pops the top off. Just kind of pour, just whatever you feel like into here for me.
Disgusting. She's pouring and then goes, he was a very attractive young man.
All right. Anybody else want to do anything while you're at the coffee shop?
Nope.
Okay. You all meander off at different times, I assume, or maybe you get up and leave at the same time. I don't know.
Yep. When Kimberly gets up, she's gonna slip a 5 into the tip jar and head on out.
$8 on the table just to beat everyone else.
$8.
He had to one up Victor's 7 on the table, huh?
That's it.
Okay. Let's see. Sage is going to pick up an outfit. Where are you going to get one?
I was just looking up the best places for haute couture in Miami, and I have yet to find it. Somewhere fancy.
Okay. Single shop, mall, strip
Single shop.
mall. Single shop. Okay. Are you taking anybody with you?
No.
Okay. Okay. You find a place. Getting in is not particularly easy, but it's not ridiculously hard either. Go ahead and let's see here. We'll have you roll larceny plus intelligence.
All right. One success.
So you get in the building. They have a standard set of suits and pants racked on the walls. They also have different culture finery clothes, like the types of suits that you'd see in Japan or in China. The long sleeve with the double button down breasted front. There is dress shirts, ties. There are no shoes. This appears to be just a clothier. But you can probably find most anything you want, really.
Okay. I put together a suit, and then I've already stolen. I have a pretty good collection of shoes at this point. So yeah, I am. I leave with a Prada suit and uh, like all the accoutrement to 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 do it good, to look fancy at a ball.
Fair enough.
Trying to take the sheriff's advice.
Sounds good. One thing I did forget to mention, and I probably should have, so I'm going to rewind just a little bit. About a week after the events of last session, you see, all of you, a story on the news about two kids from the University of Miami going missing. That repeats for that first day plus 2 days and then stops.
Would this have been like in a newspaper or would it have just been on television?
It's on television. Are you looking in the newspaper?
Yeah, Charlotte wants to find like a physical article about them.
Okay. You find one. It's definitely not front page material. It's local, so B section. About 3 pages deep.
She has
Really
it
short
cut
article,
out. She has the article cut out and just put it somewhere in her apartment.
Okay. The reason I remembered that is because the day after you find or you get your suit, Jeff, you actually note on the news there was a report of a break-in where you got your suit from. It appears that the locks on the door had been jimmied open, and there was some damage to the door frame. But the police have no suspects.
Turns out it's hard to look at a vampire on a camera.
And B&E is not as simple as it seems. All right. Is anybody else doing anything in the interim week between now and the ball?
Charlotte wants to. Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Charlotte wants to ask Cressida if she knows anything about the MRI.
That's a good question.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No worries. I'm just trying to think.
Sorry, actually. I'm not sorry.
Ooh. She does indeed.
Ooh.
What Cressida knows about the Mirai are that they are fortune tellers.
Ooh.
They are soothsayers. They have an uncanny ability to pick out the future for individuals and then act on what they find.
Charlotte shares that with the rest of the group and then says, Sage, have you told them about your tarot cards?
Sage constantly has their tarot cards out playing with them. There's no.
I mean the like them being hidden in your apartment and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Charlotte sends the info in the group chat and then says, like, this anything for you, Sage?
Yeah, when Sage sees it, they are suddenly very interested. They're like, oh, this seems kind of cool.
And are these is the Mirai a different type of vampire, or is this a different different creature?
When Sage sees this, Sage will go looking for their sire or yeah, pretty much their sire to ask about it. Raphael.
Okay. The question you asked, Caro, it's what's known as a bloodline. Among the Maquette, there are a few who are exceptionally receptive to the shifts and changes of fate. There are others for different clans. Even we have them.
Understood. Thank you.
Jeff, you go to Raphael. He is he's actually sitting in an office when you finally catch up with him, doing what appears to be actual work. He has up on a computer screen what looks to be an account ledger, or perhaps even several. Yes, young sage, what is it?
I was just curious if you are familiar with the Mirai.
You see him typing as he's listening, and the second you say Mirai, he stops. and looks up at you. What about them?
Well, you know the ball that we all have to attend?
Yes.
Uh, it's being held in honor of a visit from the Marai. Someone called Talu.
And he sits back in his chair and stares at you and just sighs heavily. Shit. Those fucking meddlers.
What is the Marai?
Think of them like the CIA. And he sneers at that. See all, know all, do whatever the fuck they want, and have no accountability whatsoever.
Kind of sounds like vampires in general. What's I mean, what's different? Why are they different? Why do people why do vampires fear them? They are vampires, right?
They are. They're maquette. Um,
Like us.
think, think. Imagine for a second that the boogeyman was real. That he knew who you were, what you were doing, what you'd planned, and could walk in and snuff out your life on a whim for no reason at all other than I saw your future. And in however many days or years, you're going to betray the masquerade. So you must die now. Or even more rare, something beneficial. But it's they don't there's no rhyme or reason, it seems. They look into fate's loom, and there's a thread that I need to follow, and they follow it and decide what they're going to do, and then they go and do it. They don't appeal to anybody, they don't ask anybody, they don't. It's just it just happens.
I mean, it sounds like they're just doing what needs to be done, though. Right?
He looks at you and kind of squints just a little bit, and then he chuckles. That's right. You're into that whole fate shit too, aren't you?
I
I
mean,
forgot about that.
yeah, it's you you made that happen for me. I didn't ask for it.
Well, hell, maybe they'll take a shine to you.
What what are you doing in here?
You think the Invictus are the only ones that know how to run a business? Carthians need money, so I help.
I need money. Like, why haven't why haven't you helped me? I've been living in that shithole apartment. I barely ever see you. I had to come find you tonight.
But you found me.
Yes, but I didn't want to. I'd rather just be in a nice apartment that's comfortable and it doesn't have to be fancy.
So what did you do to earn it?
What opportunities did you give me? You just did this to me and then you left me.
Left you? I
I've been
gave
living
you a new lease
in
on life.
a
You can live
trash
forever.
pile. I've been living in a trash pile. I know nothing. You've taught me nothing. You're the worst. And you act like this was a gift.
It is a gift.
I didn't ask for it. It's not something I wanted.
Shall I take it away?
Well, if you took it away, then you would take everything away from me. And that's not what I want. You could have helped me find a job so I didn't have to live in that dirty little trash hole.
Did you
All I've
ask?
ever done is flunk out of school. I was raised in a trailer park. I'm just plain white trash. And you did this to me.
If all you
You
think
said,
of yourself is plain white trash, then that's all you'll ever be. What I did to you, I did because I see something that's not necessarily plain white trash. However, the only way that will ever happen is if you decide that you are not. If you decide that you want to change things, and if you go out and get what you want, that's how you change things. No one hands things to anybody, not
that's
without
a lie.
wanting something in return.
Okay, ask for something in return. I will work for pay, and in return, I will give my labor and my creativity and my effort. But
It
you don't
sounds
just
like you're
do
doing that
this to
already.
somebody and then just abandon them.
From what I hear, you're doing that already. You're with that lawyer group, correct? I understand
Only
that's working
because
out
I
quite
had
well.
to talk to the sheriff. The
That's
sheriff,
right.
a
You
cop.
you owed you owned a conversation with the sheriff. You now have a contact there. You have a contact with a lawyer that you got because you called a phone number. The sheriff did not call that for you. He did not put your name in front of them. You did that.
You
You
made me
reached.
owe a favor to a cop. There's nothing you can say that will make me forgive you.
He shrugged.
Anyway, I'm leaving. Thank you for your answer. It
You're
was
welcome.
fine to see you, I guess, and have fun with your job. Um, bye.
And you walk out.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the Mirai, fortune tellers, and potential assassins, I guess.
And Maquette.
And Maquette. And with that, we will take our break for the day. So we will see you back here in about 10 to 15 minutes. And thank you for joining us so far. We hope to see you back here in the short amount of time. Welcome back. So we are getting ready for ball. You arrive at Elysium at the appointed day and time, dressed in your finery that you have so graciously shared with me. I love it. At the conservatory, you take your spiffy key cards and use them to enter the private elevator that will take you down far below the streets of Miami to a sublevel of this building. And when you exit the elevator, each one of you, once again, you're greeted with opulence and finery. There is nearly 100 vampires that you can see mingling and picking at food and humans that are chained up, sipping from them and mingling with each other and talking about random things. What order do you guys come in? Or are you going to come together? Besides Kimberly,
Sage would have arranged. I think Sage would have arranged to go with Charlotte, and I think they would both probably be in agreement that 30 to 45 minutes after the beginning of the ball is the
I was going to
appropriate
say
time to
exactly
arrive.
30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Victor's the kind of person to show up exactly on time.
He
So
sure
Victor
is.
shows up on time. Charlotte and Sage show up fashionably late. And Kimberly also is showing up late. As part of the prince's retinue. Along the way, you, Kimberly, when you arrive at Elysium, you and the prince and the sheriff and the 3 hounds that he has with him run across 2 fairly tall, slender ladies. One of them is wearing an impeccable white gown. It is embroidered with white thread to match the white on the gown. And as you look close, you see that the thread is it's in a pattern. It's almost like runes or some sort of dead language that you don't recognize, but it's run all over the gown. The other woman, who is holding her arm, is also wearing a ball gown, but it is blood red. It matches her hair. The first has raven black hair, but the second is a redhead. And the prince walks over to them with the sheriff and you, and introduces them, the one in white as Rebecca Toulouse, from Clan Maquette, the other as her companion, Victoria Argent, who is a deva. Welcomes them to the ball and asks if they're ready to go down, and they agree. And so you descend several more levels and walk out onto a terrace, which is where you came out last time, that's one floor above the main level of Elysium. And there is a large, loud, projected loud man standing at the railing who turns and looks and then turns back to the assembled vampires, and you see him. He's got kind of a wooden sphere, and he claps it hard on the railing twice and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Dakari Haman, his sheriff Imani Yover, and their guests, Rebecca Toulouse and Victoria Argent, as well as the prince's child, Kimberly McKnight." And the prince steps forward to the railing and he spreads his hands and he says, "My friends, thank you. You honor me with your attendance at my ball. Tonight, we welcome a guest, two actually, who have come to us from across the sea, from France. This is Rebecca Toulouse. She is," a pauses, "an old acquaintance, and her companion, Victoria Argent. Please extend to them the hospitality that you would do towards me. Get to know them, welcome them into our domain. Tonight, let us be at peace, for this is Elysium, and we are kindred. Enjoy yourselves." And he turns and he gestures for the rest of them to follow the path around, and there's kind of a semicircle staircase that leads down to the main level. And he walks over and he takes, he extends his arm to Rebecca, and she takes it, and Victoria is on her arm, and he walks them down the stairs.
We go say hi, Sage?
Oh, I'll go with you, but only so you can network. I don't want to say anything.
I'm sure they'll see your proclivity to sort of what they do, right?
Oh God, I hope not. From what I understand, you want to stay off of their radar. They're interesting, but
Are they dangerous? I mean, they can't be more dangerous than we are.
they assassinate vampires.
They are vampires.
They assassinate vampires.
I'm just going to say a polite hello. It would be
Okay.
weirder if I didn't.
All right, I'll go with you.
She, they start walking and she goes, put your arm out, please.
Sage reaches through and hooks their arm through Charlotte's.
These are very tall heels. Thank you, dear. She's not like making a beeline for them, but as the party is rotating, she is making her way over.
Okay. It's about 30 minutes of gradual social maneuvering. And you finally attach yourself to a small crowd that is in that orbit and looks to be next in their grand tour of the Vampire Society. And as the two of you walk in with that group, it starts introducing itself, one by one, and thank you for gracing us with your presence and polite. How are you finding America, and have you been here before, and things like that, and Rebecca's speech is both very soft and very refined, like she's taken elocution classes. She pronounces her words in correct American English. Does not use slang, does not use profanity or anything like that. Very, very eloquent, almost like you were reading it out of if America had Shakespeare, right? It's almost lyrical in that way, but not like she's trying to be. It just happens naturally. And you finally make your way to the front of that group. And you're standing before her.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Charlotte Delacour.
Charlotte, it is good to meet you. I am Rebecca.
You as well. Do you prefer Rebecca or Miss... Oh no. Miss Toulouse?
Oh, come now. We're all kindred here. Rebecca is just fine.
In that case, you may call me Lottie.
Lottie, how charming.
Thank you.
And who is this with you? And she turns and looks at Sage, and Sage, you immediately feel like your shoulders just grew 20 pounds.
Hello. My name is Sage Thorn, and I am a maquette, and it's very nice to meet you.
Sage Thorn. It is a pleasure to meet you as well. And She looks back at Charlotte, but her gaze keeps flicking back to Sage. Are the two of you attached? You look like such a marvelous couple.
Dear friends.
Yes, of
No.
course.
No, we're not attached.
Well then, it's a pleasure to meet you both. I do
Thank
hope
you.
you're enjoying the ball. Your prince is very generous.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We're
it's a lovely
sort of
ball.
the same vampire class. We grew up together in a way.
How charming. Here in Miami.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's good to see the locals getting ahead.
May I ask what brings you stateside?
She pauses for a second and looks as if she's considering that answer and finally says, I've found that it is good to wander abroad, learn new things, and meet new people, especially we kindred. You know, I've been around for a while now, and things have changed. And if we don't keep up with the modernities of life around us, well, we tend to stick out. And that's never a good thing.
It's a great way of putting it. If you need a tour guide around Miami, between Sage and I, we know all the spots.
I will keep
Um,
that in mind, dear.
It was so nice to meet you. That's all. Thank you.
She looks at you and reaches out to take your hand.
Um, Sage tentatively holds out their hand.
And she takes it and very slowly kind of caresses the back of your hand and then pats it. It was a pleasure to meet you as well, young Sage. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That sounds great. Um, I I have to go.
Of course. Please don't allow me to stop you. And she lets go of your hand. There's a bit of a not electric, right? But almost like the feeling of when blood gets cut off to a certain portion of your body,
Mm,
the tingling ants kind of a sensation, except
mhm.
not as strong. It's just very brief in her touch in your hand, and then when she stops touching you, it's gone.
Okay.
I think she
Charlotte,
likes
you really
you.
have to try this punch.
Lead on then. Thank you again, Rebecca.
Yes, of course.
Once they're out of earshot, I think she likes you.
Did you feel that?
No? Feel
You
what?
didn't that pressure.
I mean, I feel social pressure nearly at all times, particularly at Elysium, but no
No, it
other
felt
pressure.
like I was being crushed by a weight.
Responsibility, perhaps?
No, this was a this was a real feeling. This wasn't.
Oh,
And then when she touched me, it felt really strange.
bad? Did she curse you, maybe?
Charlotte, I'm terrified of her.
Well, we've made our appearances, and now it's not suspicious if we don't see them again. She, like, moves in between Sage and where the two women are still standing, and kinda, like, pats him on the back of just like, "It's alright, we've done our duty. You never have to see her again unless you want to."
Okay, you're right.
Let's get you some blood.
And Sage goes
Okay.
off looking for some.
You find any kind of blood you want. It's all good.
Great.
Oh, negative.
Nom 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 nom.
Yep. Slurp it all up.
Kimberly, Victor.
Victor was kind of standing off to the side, and sipping on a goblet of blood himself, and watching those two kind of have their interaction over there. And he's going to set his goblet down, take a deep breath, and walk over to go introduce himself.
Victor's
Hello?
going to voluntarily walk over and introduce himself.
Yes.
Look
It's the
at
jacket.
you.
He's confident.
Look at what he's wearing. He's got confidence right now. The nice black, black suit with a black suit with a tailcoat. The red satin accents on it with the lapels and tie.
I like it.
He is rocking himself right now.
You walk over to them.
Hello, it's my name is Victor Rockwell. Invictus Gangrel. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, my dear, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I'm Rebecca. This is my companion, Victoria. And Victoria looks at you like you're a slab of meat. And she's starving.
More people want to fuck Victor.
The pleasure's all mine. How are you liking it here in the States?
I don't make my way to the States as often as I would like. I find myself vowing to do so every time I come, and then circumstance gets in the way. But it's been years since I've been to Miami. I've always enjoyed the coast of this country. It's something about the sea is very calming, like it has no memory. And I envy that sometimes.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, Florida's a lot different than New York was.
Oh, you're from New York?
I am Big Apple itself.
And what brought you all the way down here?
My job originally. I was, well, I guess I am animator. I don't know if you've heard of Rockwell Studios before.
I'm not sure that I have. And Victoria looks and smiles. Oh, but I have. Some of your animations are quite good.
Thank you. Those cartoons are my pride and joy. But I'm just kind of rebuilding myself up, though. You probably heard of the bankruptcy, all that jazz, and I'm working on getting back up there. Even, due to even with current circumstances of myself. But that just means I got more time to make it work.
That's the spirit, young one. You have forever. Make of it as much as you possibly can. And Victoria reaches out and she kind of places her hand on your cheek and uses her thumb to stroke it and says, in time, all things wash out in the mix. What you had to suffer as a mortal is not something that you have to fear as a kindred. You have time and you have talent. You can be whatever you want to be.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the ball. Victor holds his hand out for a handshake.
Rebecca holds hers out, much like the Europeans do, with an expectation to be kissed.
And he grabs it and places a kiss on the top of her hand.
So polite, even. That's not very common among Americans we've seen.
And especially not common among New Yorkers, I know.
That is true as well.
But I hope you enjoy the ball. And, help yourself to whatever blood's around, I guess. And
Of course.
he gives a gentle nod and turns around and goes to find Sage and Charlotte.
As you walk away, you can feel Victoria's gaze linger on you.
And he lets out a giant, like, as if when he's finally far enough away out of like immediate earshot, it's just he lets out this just whole okay.
Her touch exuded sex. Like if you were a human, you'd have been naked right then and there.
And he's gonna go and find Sage and Lottie.
Okay, they are drinking from various and sundry slaves, blood slaves. Kimberly.
Victor.
Kimberly is going to continue walking around and greeting everybody as appropriate.
Okay. Is there anybody in particular that you're looking for?
I'm going to keep my eye out for Theodore, but other than that, no.
Okay. You notice two people. You're looking for Theodore. You find him. You also notice off to one side as you're walking around somebody that you saw very briefly at the ball the last time you had one. It's the mage Hierophant. He is attempting to look unobtrusive and for the most part succeeding. The vampires that are physically closer to him than others are for the most part ignoring him.
Okay. I'm going to pretend to not see him. Simply because I'm not. No, we're not. No.
Okay.
Kimberly does not like mages. Lorenzo's the only exception. But as soon as I can escape greeting all of the primogens and making small talk with them, I'm going to make my way over to Theodore.
Okay. Theodore is alone. He is wearing a suit that almost looks like it was a cut-off lab coat that they dyed black. It's very plain. It is also double-breasted, with 2 pockets, neither one of which contains a handkerchief or anything. It's pens. There are several. And it looks like he made an effort to look nice for the ball, but his hair is still not quite straw patch, but straw patch-ish. Like he tried to run a brush through it, and it said, "Fuck you. I do what I want." And so part of it's combed, and then there's parts of it that are kind of sticking in different ways. He's got these rectangular glasses, very thick frames, also black. One arm of which is taped with silver duct tape. And he's sitting back against the wall. He's not sitting. He's leaning back against a wall. A goblet in his hand that he has mostly ignored, it looks like. Just staring off into the crowd, but with the look of a man who's just staring off into space.
Kimberly is going to take a deep breath, a long drink from her goblet, and then approach.
You gonna say anything to him, or
Just the man I was looking for.
so he doesn't seem to notice you approach. He only seems to notice when you speak, and his body kind of jolts slightly. His hand with the goblet shakes a little bit, and the liquid in it sloshes some. And when his eyes settle on you, he gets a half lip, half toothy smile, and it almost looks forced if you didn't know any better. But every single time you've seen him smile at anybody since you've known him or been around, he wears this smile. It's like he doesn't know how. And so he's approximating what he thinks a smile should look like. Almost like Clark Kent and Superman approximating what humans should look like, if that makes any sense. Ah, Kimberly.
Theodore.
How are you enjoying the festivities?
They're absolutely spectacular and fascinating.
Yes, your sire is very opulent.
He is enthusiastic about exploring and exposing his wealth. However, I am not here to discuss the festivities or make such discussions. I am here to speak to you as a scientist.
He blinks and looks at you, and the lip curls almost into a smirk. Oh, dear God, seriously?
The sheriff thought I'd be welcomed. There is someone I would like for you to meet. I believe that the two of you would get along swimmingly. She is mortal, but I believe you would enjoy her courses at school. She too is a scientist.
At the school. Human?
Very much so. Didn't you hear? I started college.
You know, I think perhaps the prince may have mentioned that once. I don't know. I wasn't paying very much attention. I had more important things on my mind.
You should try it sometime. It's very enlightening. But I digress. I believe that meeting this one would behoove you, especially with the extensive research that you have been attempting to do.
She is studying vampirism as well.
No, but she is studying bloodborne pathogens and the way biology works and reacts to it.
His eyes widen slightly, and he's got one eyebrow raises, and his look turns into curiosity. Interesting. And this is here at the University of Miami.
Yes, she is my biology teacher, actually. One of the required courses that I have to take for my degree. I had to pick a science, and biology is the easiest one to my mind because chemistry just makes my brain hurt with the math.
The smirk returns.
I'm not fond of the alphabet mafia. They had to invade my math. It was not okay. However,
Cute.
I believe that you and her get along swimmingly. Would you like to meet her?
If that's something that she's willing to do, I would be happy to meet her.
Well, and I'm gonna pull out my phone and show him a picture of her. And her class is it starts at 8 p.m. It runs from 8 to 11, and I am allowed a guest to audit it if you would like to join me one evening. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
What an interesting idea. Very well. I will look at my schedule and give you a Monday when I am able to join you.
I look forward to it. I'm sure it will be an interesting experience for both of us.
Indeed. I'll confess this is not a conversation I ever expected to have. However,
I live to surprise.
you do that. Is there anything else?
In time, I have some other plans in the works that I would enjoy sharing with you. I'm sure we'll get to know each other much better after we meet my teacher. Enjoy the rest of the festivities, Theodore. And then she's gonna nimbly exit. Stage left, escaping the guy that freaks her the fuck out.
As you turn to walk away, you see him reach into a inner pocket of his jacket and pull out a small spiral notebook. He then takes out one of the pens from his pocket, and the last thing that you see before you walk away is that the pen does not look anything like a standard Bic ballpoint pen or something like that, right? As you're walking away, next to him is one of those blood slaves, and you hear a yelp. And then nothing.
Must escape, must escape. And then I'll meander and work my way towards the other three.
I said that's not my problem. Bye.
Is the Hierophant close to Theodore?
We'll say he's between you and the other three.
Okay. As I walk past him, I'm not going to stop or look at him and just say, "Give Lorenzo my love," and keep going.
Charlotte holds out a goblet, like, without even turning around once Kimmy's approaching. Interesting morning for yourself, dear.
Oh, dear God in heaven. She will gleefully
good,
take
huh?
it.
You sound like you're already done with things.
You want to talk about it?
We're all ears.
Just certain people make me very uncomfortable and squeamish, and Theodore is one of them.
Oh, that's the same problem these boys are having.
Ah, yeah.
The visitor would
saw-
like to have sex with Victor.
Her
No
hand was on my
accounting for
face.
taste.
Her hand was on my face, and it just, you could feel the sex radiating off of it.
Gross.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. Like,
Well, no accounting for taste.
right, exactly. My thoughts exactly.
But considering every time Piper's around you, she's got a smile on her face that sandpaper couldn't remove.
Maybe you're good at it.
Who knows?
You know, it comes naturally to Deva. Maybe it's a learned skill, and you've learned that well. I don't know.
And how are you doing, Sage?
I don't know. The visitor, she kind of scares me.
Well, she is kind of scary. Are you okay, though?
I mean, I don't know. It was like when she looked at me, I felt like weight pressing down on me. It was. And then she touched my hand, and it felt so strange. I don't know. I don't know why she's here, but it's scary.
Well, according to the sheriff, they like to play their cards close to their chest.
I'm not sure she would harm you in Elysium, though. I mean, you heard the prince. This is the peaceful grounds, I suppose. I don't think you have anything to worry about for tonight, at least.
Yeah, it's very rare that they would violate the neutral accords in Elysium.
And if they need to, you've done something quite fucked up.
I haven't done anything.
Then you've got nothing to worry about.
It's just that, I mean, when she talked to you, did you feel anything?
Apologies.
Oh. Can you guys hear me?
I
Yeah.
just came back.
Yep.
Okay. When she talked to you, Kimmy, did you feel anything?
No. She's not interested in me.
But she's interested in me and Sage.
Maybe she's a
Well,
succubus.
Well, she wants to bounce you, but and
The
Kimberly's gonna stop and glance at the cards in Sage's hand.
her companion wants to bounce you.
What are you looking at, Kimmy?
Your cards.
Sage looks down and notices that they've got them out and they're just sort of shuffling them idly. And then puts them in a pocket. What about it?
She was doing the same thing this morning at the breakfast table.
I mean, I heard the Mirai are fortune tellers. But also assassins. I don't want her to notice me, let alone take an interest in me. But it's okay. Uh, you're right. I mean, she's not gonna do anything tonight, and I'm sure she's going home like tomorrow, probably, right?
I think
Yeah.
she's here for another week. She said she had business in the city, so that's all I know. I am not going to ask her questions because I don't want her attention either. She terrifies me.
I don't
Well,
want to be assassinated.
you won't be. We'll just stay away from Elysium for the week.
That's
I-
not better. You know that, right? That's not better. If
Just
she
stay away
wants to
from Elysium for
assassinate
a
me,
week?
if she wants to assassinate me, that means she'll have free reign to do it.
Surely she won't. You can't be the thing she traveled from France for.
Maybe not.
Or maybe they want to steal you away.
And that's worse. You guys just keep saying things that get worse.
Discussing it doesn't seem to be helping. Sage, just stick close with us. We won't let them be alone with you. And what are they gonna do? Kill all of us? Good fucking luck.
Yes.
There's two of
They
them,
most
and there's
likely
so many
can.
of
Yeah,
us.
no, I don't doubt that they can.
Do you know what would happen if they killed me? Cressida would freak out. And if they killed Kimberly in front of the prince, there's two of them.
The prince would
This is
be
our
very put
territory
off.
that they've stepped into.
The prince would
This is
be
our
very put
territory
off.
that they've stepped into. Get a little territorial. This is our space. I'm not scared of them in our space.
From what I understand, they walk outside of the rules of vampires, and they police all of vampire society, and nobody polices them.
It's not that I'm not concerned.
They're
I
the
just think
boogeyman.
they sound like cops.
Like I said, the boogeyman.
What would you have us do?
I'm gonna go find someone who's pretty, and I'm going to have sex. And I don't care what the rest of you do, I will find you in a few hours.
Have fun, enjoy your sex.
Enjoy yourself.
You want
I
us to
will.
keep a watch out or anything?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
And don't
Oh,
listen.
come find us I don't want to. That sounds disgusting. Come find us before the ball is over, so I know you didn't get, I don't know, succubused.
Okay. You are finding somebody at the ball to do this with?
Yeah, probably a one of the blood slaves.
Okay.
Just some pretty boy to go back to a quiet room with, and
You find somebody and
great.
take them to a room and do whatever you want with them.
And scene. Fade to black.
What are the three of you doing?
Kimberly is going to enjoy her vial of blood, flush life, and then go have chocolate and strawberries.
They're really good.
Is there like dancing?
Actually, yes. There is it is not it's not speaker carried, but there is live music. There are actually several vampires that are together and performing classical music.
The dance macabre, perhaps?
Not so much. I mean, they'll play the tango or waltzes or things like that to where people can dance. But it's very much older. There's no twerking going on. There's no moonwalking going on. There's none of that. It's all
The
very
two newest
formal. Very,
dances.
yeah, you know what I mean. It's no one's doing the
Charlotte
Macarena.
Charlotte kind of makes her way out to dance and catches the prince for a moment and holds her hand out. Is your dance card already full?
It isn't. Would you care to dance?
I would be honored.
And he takes your hand and he leads you out on the floor and into a tango is what they're playing. And he is the best dancer you've ever met. Very fluid, very practiced, very skilled, as if he spent a significant portion of his life learning to dance well. Like, I can dance, but this guy is like a walking dance textbook. You know what I mean? Like he knows it cold.
In between moments of dancing, she kind of like laughs and says, I didn't expect you to be so practiced.
When you have an eternity to learn things, you learn what you want. And I always enjoyed dancing as a youngling.
Really?
I did. Some of the traditional African dances were very fun to do.
Oh, have them play one of those next. Do
I
anything.
fear I'd be the only one dancing.
Oh no, whatever shall we do? I've grown quite fond of your child, Kimberly. She's lovely. You've
She's
picked well.
quite something, isn't she?
She is. This whole world I've grown quite fond of.
I admit sometimes it does take time to grow on you, but once it does, there's a certain charm, and he spins you out and then kind of pulls you back in, and goes off again to our ways. Some of them modern, some of them archaic, some of them arcane, but all of them very artful.
She hasn't been flustered in a long time, but she kind of gets a little giddy, reminding herself that she is still like a 22-year-old girl who's just excited to be dancing with a lovely man. And then kind of curtsies as the music ends. I shouldn't take you for much longer, but thank you for your hospitality.
Of course. This is the entire purpose of all of this, is to bring us together. There are so few of us in the world today. And if we do not rise above our own petty squabbles, how will we survive among the humans? Yes, they are food. Yes, they are weak compared to us, but they outnumber us 100 to 1. Eventually, they'll get lucky.
She leans in a little closer. While all of those platitudes are lovely, and I agree, they do bring us together. I think you just wanted an excuse to dance.
He winks at you. He says, well, you know, a deva must do what a deva must do.
Can't blame a man for wanting. Farewell.
Likewise, Miss Delacour.
She curtsies again and steps off.
And he goes off to dance with somebody else. Victor.
Honestly, Victor's been kind of hanging back by the table where he's been drinking his goblet and whatnot, just kind of people watching, thinking to him, wondering if he should probably go and just mingle about, which he's realizing it's starting to look like more and more like he actually should. So he sets down his glass. He finishes the goblet, sets it down, and goes to start actually mingling.
As you turn to walk, you almost run headfirst into Victoria Argent.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, of course, it's just fine. I have that effect on people sometimes. And she flashes you the biggest winning smile. like halfway between she knows she's hot and I'm being self-effacing because I'm shy.
Yeah, I wasn't looking where I was going. I guess I just kind of whipped around, I guess.
You know, the unexpected is not always welcome, but occasionally you
Yeah,
find
but
something worth welcoming.
yeah, but at the same time, you always got to expect the unexpected.
It's
Unless it's the Spanish
exhausting, though, is it
Inquisition.
not?
Yeah, well, unless it's the Spanish Inquisition, because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
And she laughs. Ah, yes, a Monty Python fan. I love it.
Thank you, thank you. So, what can I offer you something to drink?
Of course.
Well, what tickles your fancy?
And she looks around. She gestures at one of the blood slaves and slides her arm around your shoulders and guides you over towards them.
All right.
Once again, you feel it dripping off her.
He takes a deep breath. Just so okay, yeah, I got nothing.
My dear boy, you're so charming.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm really not.
No, you are in the most adorable way.
Is it just because I clean up good? Is that what this is?
Oh, don't get me wrong, you're very handsome when you cleaned up. But it's more than that. And she pauses and she kind of looks off into the distance like she's trying to find the right word. It's the naivete.
The what now? Any
Your
kind of
innocence.
what do you mean by innocence?
Look around you. And she turns you so that you can look out and see the other vampires, right? And as if by magic, you can almost feel a veil falling away from your eyes. And you see, instead of vampires dressed in finery and laughing and talking and joking, you see what looks to be old movie vampire people. Like they were all Nosferatu or something, right? And they're looking around shifty-eyed and they're whispering to each other and looking and staring at other vampires with daggers in their eyes, and the whole scene just changed. And then it's gone. And it's back to the ball and everybody's getting along and smiles and laughter and festivities.
And he kind of just shakes his head, rubs his eyes, but all right, all right. Pardon my language here, but what the fuck was that? I can just see.
Just reminding you who you're dealing with, my dear.
Right.
Everybody's got an angle. But you draw for a living.
I do.
And that's really all there is to you. And it's so curious.
That's all there was to me when I was living, too. I'll tell you that much.
You haven't been around long enough to be corrupted. There's innocence there, and it's so adorable. And she leans in and puts her lips right next to your ear, hot breath and all, and extremely enticing.
Okay. Oh, where's this going, huh?
Where would you like it to go?
Yeah, all right, let's go find some place.
All right. Would you care to have my companion join us? Have you ever been with two women before?
You know, I have not. So let's yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's do this.
Very well. And she has this little smirk on her lips, and she leads you over to to Rebecca. Lets go of you long enough to lean in to whisper something in her ear, and Rebecca looks at you and smiles, and you can see the fangs sticking out over her bottom lip as she licks it. Well then, let us find a place. And the two of them surround you and lead you away.
And before leaving the room, he's gonna quickly do a quick turnaround and send a group text and just, yeah, I'll probably be back in like a few hours or so.
Charlotte texts back, "You checking on Piper?"
Not exactly. Look towards the door.
She looks.
You see Victor walking out, flanked by Rebecca and Victoria. They are all over him.
Charlotte reacts to his message with a thumbs down and then doesn't keep responding.
Kimberly will type in, well, at least he's distracting them from Sage. Good job taking one for the team.
Sage doesn't respond. Sage is busy.
I love it.
Sage is also busy.
And last we come to Sage. What is Sage doing the rest of this time?
The veil is drawn.
That's right.
Sage be
That's right.
fucking.
Several hours go by. You were going to check in back together, correct?
Yes.
Victor does not check in.
Charlotte texts him, "You good, asshole?"
I'd normally make you roll, Victor, but you're gonna fail no matter what. So you do not answer back.
Yeah. Sage just responds, "Have fun getting assassinated."
It's been several hours. They surely don't last several hours. Should we go?
Oh, he went off with the Mirai, right?
Well, yes.
Yes.
He's assassinated.
Death by snoo
Just like
snoo.
that?
What a way to go.
That's what I hear. They just kill people and nobody knows why. They just do
At
it.
Elysium, they're not allowed to.
We don't know if they're at Elysium.
That's a fair point. Have we shared our location with everyone?
I would like to think that He's Captain. He doesn't know how to turn off share location.
This might be
I
game
can
breaking
believe
though,
that.
so let's
I
ask
can believe
Josh.
that.
Yeah, no, Victor does not know how to turn share my location off, so his is constantly on.
His phone is in Elysium still. You can't pinpoint it down further than that because you're 30 stories underground, but it is definitely still there.
At least his phone is here.
I'm sure he'll turn up. Or, he'll
Who just said he was dead?
disappear forever. You can turn up if you're dead.
Those are the two options for anyone. Either you are alive or dead. That is not helpful. That does not narrow it down.
Well, you can turn up alive or you can turn up dead. Or you can just go disappearing and be disappeared but dead, or disappeared but alive. I mean, it could go a lot of different ways.
Are we not interested in going and looking for him?
I'm not going to get near the Mirai. So, no.
You stay up here. I'll go look. At least where they were walking towards. Besides, he cheated on Piper. What the fuck?
We're vampires. We don't cheat. We exist. And we do what we want. Piper's human. Even if he loves Piper, Piper's immortal. She's going to die, even if she lives for a long time because he keeps her ghouled. Unless he turns her, and I've never heard of a vampire in a long-term relationship. They can be allies, but partners, no. Even the ones that say they're partners are only together sometimes.
I don't like this, and I'm gonna go look for him. If
Charlotte,
you are frightened, don't come.
Charlotte, you
What?
shouldn't go either. He will either be alive or he will be dead. You can't do anything to make one outcome more likely than the other because you will be alive or dead based on how they feel. So you can just let Victor go be a grown boy. He's older than all of us. And he can make his own terrible choices, just like I did.
Well, it's not like he could say no either. I'm worried for him.
He
Are
can
you not
say
worried
no.
for him? He's our friend.
He can't get bloodbound because he's already bloodbound, so...
He can get murdered.
Okay, we're not going to be able to stop that.
Says who?
Just because you're much stronger and scarier than a person doesn't mean that you're even a grain of sand on the beach of an ancient vampire in terms of power.
Well, I'm gonna go
You're
check on our friend. Stay here if you'd like to stay here. Farewell. She stalks off.
Okay. When you saw them leaving towards a group of rooms that you know to be common rooms during a meeting at Elysium, similar to the one that Victor changed his suit in last time, and had the two women.
Also walked into an orgy. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Are you just randomly opening rooms, or?
She's not opening
This
any
is going to get really
doors.
interesting if you are.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
She's not opening any doors, but she's walking down the hallway while calling his phone. And correct me if I'm wrong, Victor, but he seems like the kind of guy that has the ringer all the way up at all
Yes.
times.
Yes. Doesn't know how to turn off his location.
Okay.
Always has his ringer on. And sometimes he remembers to turn text to speech off.
Charlotte's phone has never made a noise without her being aware of it.
Okay. So you're calling the phone.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of the phone very, very muffled through something. You don't. You're having a hard time pinpointing in the hallway. Victor, you are surrounded by two very naked ladies after having had 3-4 hours of fun, and they don't
Nice.
appear to be slowing down at all. Your phone starts ringing, and then it stops, and then it starts again, and it stops, and it starts again. And Victoria looks at you, and she gets this kind of a queer smile on her face and says, "Do you need to answer that, or would you like me to take care of it?"
Let me let me just check it real fast. And he's going to go and scramble for his phone and realize what time it is and that he's late. And realize that it's been
exhausted.
Lottie. And realize that it's been Lottie calling him this whole time. And he's gonna shoot a text saying, "I'm fine." But he's gonna text it in a way where he's gonna text out this whole long kind of like spiel, but hidden in that spiel, Lottie's gonna be able to find the words "help me."
She looks at it, looks back at the door that Sage has told her that she should not go through, and starts banging on the door and says loudly enough that they can hear, "Baby, are you in there?"
And that is where we will end our session today. Oh my dear God.
Oh, this ain't gonna go well for either of them. Oh,
We'll see.
Okay. Well then, so there's never a dull moment at one of the prince's balls, I suppose, despite his honest effort trying. He's not really trying to put together any chaos or anything like that. It just happens. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you watching. Those of you that are here live, and if you're not here live and you're watching this on YouTube later, we love you for that too. We're doing this because we enjoy it, but we want other people to enjoy it as well. And so that's why we're trying to put it out for posterity here. But at the same time, we also wanted to showcase some different games. So we're doing one that not many people do anymore, and we're gonna try and keep doing that. So if you like what we do, drop us a follow, a subscribe. Come join us on our Discord. We'd love to have you chat there. We have a Patreon. We'd love to see your support there. But
They just posted some really cool articles on the Patreon Go check them out.
Hey, thanks.
If you're not going to brag about it, I will.
Well, and we try, right? We try to put out content that's useful for gamers, because that's really what we are at heart. We're all gamers, and we all love what we do, and we love playing games. So if we can help, we'd love to. So yeah, if you look in chat, you'll be able to see a link to our link tree. That's how you can contact us. There's a direct link to our Discord, but we've got other social media there too. Other than that, we will be back in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, from our Citadel to yours, happy gaming.